Yeah, you got to assume everything is going to be a move, and you could get dropped pretty much.
I really have no idea where my form is going to be.
It's going to be bad. I'm certain of that.
Even if you don't want to contest for the sprint, you're sprinting anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. The sprints are not optional. Here we go. What is up, y'all? This is a breakdown of what might be my worst ZRL race ever. This is the first ZRL race on the new Neokio map. We've got 4 sprints, 1 KOM, and then some final points. It's really easy as a streamer or YouTuber or whatever to make videos about all of the awesome stuff you did, all of your achievements, the races you did great in. But that's really not the purpose of this channel. I kind of started it to learn how to Zwift race better at a time when all of my real races were off the table and I had to sort of refocus my goals for that season. And to that end, this one was not a good one for me. I don't think I lived up to my potential here, and I want to figure out why and see what I could have done a little bit differently. So off the jump, I mean, I don't have great fitness coming into this. I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, hence that quote from the beginning of the video. I am coming off of a base season. I had my last cyclocross race on December 5th, and this is mid-January. So I took 4 or 5 days off the bike completely after that last cross race, and then when I did come back to riding, I was doing low intensity and low volume while I got started on some gym work, focused on my lifting and getting my form back and my weight up on the lifting. As I got in control of my lifting, I've started bringing the volume back on the bike, but still not really the intensity up to this race. It looks like, looking at my calendar now with my new road team, our first race is going to be in February sometime, so about a month out from it. Probably time to start mixing in a little bit of intensity, and ZRL was starting up at the same time. Wanted to get out here with the Restart boys and have some fun. Some type 2 fun, getting completely destroyed, but I knew I needed the effort in my legs. So with that said, I wasn't coming in with huge expectations, but I do think I could have done better than I did. First sprint on this one comes about 3K in, so very early, and I was debating whether I should try to stay up front the whole time or kind of drift back and save energy and try to go forward again. I ended up sort of splitting the difference and trying to stay right in the middle of the blob this whole time, and maybe wasted a little bit of energy going backwards and forwards throughout, and still ended up with not great position going into that first sprint. Watch it, y'all. Starts coming up. So here we are coming through the first sprint, and you can watch me go backwards here right after I told everyone to watch out for the first sprint happening. Of course, people are going to go early. That's kind of always the way on these flat ones, especially while everyone is still fresh-ish. But I should have been a little bit farther forward right there. I'm starting from 50th wheel, and there are only fastest across the line points here, not fastest through the segment. Starting that far back and then hitting 1,000 watts here, I should have started farther forward if I wanted the points, and I shouldn't have gone so hard if I was just trying to stay stuck onto this group. I did too much. Oliver and I kind of having the same thought at the same time there. We both started a little too far back to actually get into that top 10 for the first across the line points. I think I was too eager to test the legs there, but I really should have stayed a little bit farther back. I probably, rather than hitting 1,000 watts briefly and really burning a match there, which I'm feeling immediately, my heart rate's up over 180, which for me always means trouble. Rather than doing that, if I was just trying to stay on and not go for the points, I probably should have done kind of a smooth ramp up to around 500 or 600 watts and then smoothly ramped back down, because as you can see here, the elastic band is kind of coming back together. We got a pretty decent break between this sprint and the next sprint. Next sprint in 4K. So here we are coming into that next sprint, and this was the only flat one that had both first across the line points and fastest through segment points. So I really wanted to go for it on this one above all else because there was a chance for double points. Watch that guy popping the burrito in the middle of the group there. That starts to create a little bit of a separation going in. I did want to start this far back to target those fastest through segment points, because the best way to get those is to start the segment toward the back of the group and finish toward the front of the group. Now, that guy has created a little gap in the middle of the group, which I correctly identify and jump across right here for the downhill. Nailed the timing on the aero boost going into the downhill, maximum speed going through the group here, and then you can see I carry so much good momentum. This is the good part of the Pack Dynamics 3 for me, and really not a crazy sprint numbers-wise. I just did a really good job of playing the game here, but that quickly turns after I go across the line, just outside the top 10 for those first across the line points.
Oh yeah, third fastest.
So I did pick up the third fastest through the segment, which is worth more points than the first across the line. So that was actually a win. This is where things start to go sideways for me, though. I backed the power off too far here, and the same thing that actually helped me go forward through the group on that sprint is sending me backwards fast here as the sort of elastic it's coming back together, and the burrito makes this even worse for me right here. The Pack Dynamics 3.0 is slipperier than before. There is less sticky draft, which is good. That helped me move through the group earlier. Once I got unstuck, I was slipping draft to draft really easily, but right now it's making it harder to get stuck back in. I think if I had done one more surge here with the guy in the gray, I would have been back on the group. Stood up one time in 400 watts and I just miss it, look down, and it's too late. They're already gone. The group has so much inertia and momentum. They're kind of sticking together and blobbing up here. A big blob of riders close together on Zwift just goes so fast. I could have chased on if I had fresh legs, but I just went full gas for both of those sprints, one of which I probably should have gone half gas, if that's even a term. But this is what I'm here to live and learn. This is also partially just my Zwift craft being a little bit rusty. I haven't Zwifted in a minute. I had ridden and raced on Pack Dynamics 3.0 before, but it just wasn't top of mind, and it really has to be burned into your psyche and just completely automatic to do the right split-second responses when you're that deep. I was so deep, I couldn't think, and just that momentary lapse cost me. Now, do I think I could have held on the rest of the race and been a factor in all of the sprints? Probably not. Maybe could have knocked down a couple more points, or even just stayed in that main group and cruised in for 30th because of this point structure in the community league. The points go all the way down, so I do settle into a group here and just try to get the best finish I can out of it, but we're really fighting for the 50s, so I just get together with some guys, start working and pulling turns, and simultaneously calling out whatever I can off of my cue sheet to everyone in Discord on my team that is up the road.
Yep, there's an arch at 15.1. No points there.
Went pretty hard up the KOM just to get a good effort in, because again, that's what I needed, and went for the sprint at the end, won the sprint from my little group. This was kind of a crazy sprint. These guys start lighting it up from half a K out, which is really early from me, but I figured probably I needed to stick this move and then go again. So I thought the four of us were going to come together there. We don't. I just breeze past those guys to stick this one guy who seems a little bit more committed. I do have a drafting boost that I've already used. I think the timing there was pretty good. It allowed me to get behind him and continue going forward as I'm kind of saving a little bit of energy there, and then kick one more time in the last 100 meters to get around him cleanly. Almost got to another guy up there. We were about to make contact with some stragglers from another group, I think. But yeah, 57th, I believe, on the day here. So not a complete waste. I didn't just get totally shut out. I got those points on the second one, which is what I was really going for. Got some hard efforts in, but I do think this could have gone a lot better. And I think it's important to look at where you really go wrong, where you really don't get the result you can or should, and sort of analyze what happened there, figure out what went wrong, if anything did go wrong. I mean, sometimes there are also days where you put your best foot forward and the cards just don't fall your way. And so I think it was a little bit of all of the above for me here. Hopefully I'll have some more of this content, both breaking down Zwift races and IRL races coming up soon. Got some more stuff in the hopper, so go ahead and follow the channel if you want some more of this content. Appreciate you guys watching, and see you next time.